Alrighty, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the Fight Dude here, casting alongside Sino from Mississippi State. How you doing
Hi
tonight,
there, how's it
Sino?
going? Pretty well, pretty well.
So, I got the Observer file to work. We got team logos, at least for me. So, I know you're going off
Sweet.
just team numbers. But
Yep.
it should be a fun night. It's actually the first time I've been casting and doing production where I've got that to go for me. So, I'm excited about that.
Great way to start.
So as we look at this playing path, nothing too odd or ambitious for a lot of these teams. Pretty much centered down Erangel. I don't think we'll see
Yeah.
too many early game fights.
No, it looks like, Span Cargo and her UCF team going to Sev, and then the other UCF team actually going to North George. First two teams out of the plane.
So a lot of teams actually chose to kind of go south of the river. There's only like two teams that actually went north of that. One in North George and another one in Severny. And then there's Arizona State, who's well known for going to military base.
Yeah, get that island all to themselves down there.
There's actually a few teams around the Gatka area.
Yeah, that's
Um,
interesting. It looks like in GACA you have, is that Morningside and Mississippi State each have two there?
that's
Yep.
University of British Columbia and GCU. Is that correct?
I was just looking at it. Let's see, Dr. TikTok is not 100% sure. I don't have the
The
logos to
roster.
go off of here. I know for a fact, JT and
JT and
Thunderblitz
okay,
are
maybe I messed up team
those are both
logos.
Mississippi State.
Uh-oh.
And then if the if the numbers are right, then team number 7 would be Morningside.
Okay, so definitely team logos are not right, unfortunately. Uh,
So it looks like ASU got a really good circle for their drop. See how they can do with it. Uh, Liberty rotating in on that east bridge really quickly, trying to establish themselves in zone when a lot of teams are going to have to rotate.
mhm. Yeah, so Arizona State's actually going to be in a really prime position to kind of fend off people who rotate late. And Thunderblitz from Mississippi State actually gets a knock.
Yeah, and
It's gonna,
then goes down to Void right afterwards. So 1v1 between JT and Void until Dr. TikTok gets there running through the field.
well, it's looking to kind of push in here. Does get taken down to 40 HP. JT&T almost has him. He's at 10 HP now. Dr. TikTok is
So
here now to kind of help out with some suppressing fire. And there he goes.
JT almost turning on him, but not quite landing the shot. So it's going to be, looks like Call Me Duck and Prodigal Knight from Mississippi State. That'll have to go as a two-man from here if they can meet back up.
Hey. And Void's just going to finish those 2 kills there. Get 2 points for his team there. On the board pretty early.
Yep. A couple teams actually going towards this West Bridge now. It's South Carolina and GCU, I believe. So we'll
Yep.
see how they do, if they can establish themselves and what goes on there.
wonder if Chaotic and Az is actually going to take shots at Jagood. Jagood's just going to decide to veer off to the right side of the road. Not going to have any conflict yet. Fear to Fork from ASU taking some shots at University of South Carolina. Not able to find any that connect there. But South Carolina looks like they're going to take the southern compound on military base. Jacob actually sees this drop, I think, that's going towards the water. I don't think anyone's going to be able to go for it.
Yeah, it looks like Jay Good eyeing that one out there, seeing if anyone has gone for it yet. He might catch this boat coming around the island.
That's true. That's University of British Columbia.
Chefs. Yep. British Columbia. We'll see if they stop for it or, decide it's not worth it. And or potentially get in the level 3 gear.
If they do stop, it looks like the rest of GCU is actually going to be there to take some shots. I don't think that Jay could not spot this boat. He could have had some free shots.
Yeah, I don't think he did, or he didn't think that taking the shots would be worth it. I don't know. But it looks like they'll have. Yeah, it looks like they're stopping here.
It's, inside, it's got an AWM and some level 3 gear, so.
Yep. Yeah, definitely interesting to see how they use this home, getting it this early. If they want to, take a lot of shots or try to save it for late game when other teams might have some level 3 gear. Looks like the rest of ASU kind of making their way towards Fear to Fork now. Probably got all the loot they needed.
At the top of your screen, there's actually Prodigal Knight and his teammate gonna be taking, maybe they're gonna take shots.
Yeah, shooting there with the vector. I don't know about that one from that close, or that far away, I'm sorry. Taking the shots there is definitely a decent idea. Try to get some points when you only have 2 left alive, but just seems like at that range the vector might not have been the best gun to use.
Yeah.
Looks like British Columbia actually coming up on the beach behind South Carolina down on the south in the island. We'll see if they get spotted by South Carolina. I don't think either of those barns have a really good sight line out towards the beach. So depending on how they're playing, they might not even see them come up to them.
Ooh, Shebs. Shebs doesn't have any ammo for his M24 there.
That's a little unfortunate.
Could have a good shot.
Yeah, it looks like they once they realize there's a team in those houses over there, they kind of dip, knowing they don't have that great of a position. Leave South Carolina kind of to their own devices. It's like UCF Gold, I want to say. Nomad Wrath, Span Cargo, Ox Johnson getting caught in the blue, rotating in. If they're not careful, it'll kind of eat away at their meds, and then later in the game, that'll come back to bite them.
There's a lot of water in this next circle as well.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting because is it this zone or the next one that'll actually rotate away from the water? And so some of these teams that are kind of more on the coast, that center zone now, might not necessarily be in that great of a position going down the road. Still a couple teams left to rotate in to this new zone, but most of them are kind of already there, occupying their compounds they wanted. South Carolina kind of jumped in front of UBC.
P. Lewis gonna be taking some shots from GCU.
Yep, and then down here on the south of the island, you have Liberty rotating in 4 vehicles, driving past a few teams. Looks like they're going straight for South Carolina. And Gaflinka going down to a K9 headshot. That's impressive out of a moving vehicle for sure. And the rest of Liberty smartly not going there. Gonna have to try to find somewhere else in zone. Ooh, and Greta the Goat being exploded by UBC rotated right by them. So very quickly Liberty down to 2. But it looks like Conan, and then if Yoshi can get to him, they'll have those 2 safe going forward.
Take a look at NCSU over here.
Yeah, it looks like they just have Void left to clean up from Morningside. If they can get that, that's this compound secured and a team wipe under their belts. It'd be nice to secure those kill points and see if Void can
Oh no,
take a
he
couple
missed up
out.
the
Oh no!
grenade! He took
Ooh,
himself down
damages
to
himself.
16 HP. Oh my gosh.
Oh wow. Void barely surviving here, dodging these nades. See it? We can't quite get the one pushing up on him.
Oh no, he
Up,
decided to pull out
and
the
there
nade
it
at the
goes.
wrong time.
So Liberty got eliminated before, but then right after, Void went down. Now NCSU taking shots from way up the hill from UCF Black, but it doesn't seem like any are gonna hit or really deal any damage that's worth worrying about here. Wow, zone shifting, start centering on South Carolina. Couple teams will have to rotate in, including ASU. They have not had much luck with these circles having to rotate. An unfortunate mishap on the north side of the island in the blue where Prodigal Knight accidentally headshot Call Me Duck out of the boat. That'll be a
Yikes.
kill no one else can get, I guess. That's one way to look at it. Really hate to see that though. So now the lone survivor for Mississippi State trying to rotate in his boat. Zone is closing though. not really too much action going on now as far as close-up fights, but I'm sure as this next circle shifts that we'll see some sort of close engagements, teams trying to rotate into compounds.
Chaotic's gonna take some shots over at Gaming Warlord and take him down.
Yeah, of course, as soon as I say that, that's when, something interesting happens, but looks like it'll be a pretty safe revive for him. Aside from the damage to the gear and not having those meds, not really a huge impact from getting down there.
So I'm gonna close in, take out a lot of the water.
Yeah, it's
So
Prodigal Knight actually was able to get in. I'm not sure if he can get up where he stopped though, so might be stuck there until the next zone closes and finishes them off.
I think he can if he goes to the left a little bit more. I think he's going the wrong way to try and get up. I think he can get up right here. We'll see. Might
Looks
just have
like
to maybe swim around, go all the way around, and he might find
and try to get behind
SHU.
Sacred Heart. Yeah. Looks like two members of the UCF Gold team are going to have to try to sneak in behind Indiana in this compound that we saw South Carolina at earlier. See, another Sacred Heart member went down from Indiana in that compound. And it looks like J-Knob too is actually going to try to rotate around, see if he can get a better angle here and kind of pinch this team. If he gets too close, Gaming Warlord might be able to take him out, or at least call out his position effectively to his teammates. Looks like J-Knob going up top here, maybe trying to shoot down on him from a safe position. But if he does get knocked up there, his team is a little far away. He will have South Carolina that can see him from the back.
A lot of actioning happening over here between SHU and Toxic Marker.
Yeah, that's Indiana, I believe. J-Knob 2 on that team knows these two players are below him, but I don't know if he can find a real good angle to shoot at him from. Meanwhile, on this coast, you actually have UNCC coming up behind Prodigal Knight, who just fell into the water, so they might just get a free kill there if he doesn't spot them and evade them effectively.
SHU just hiding right below
Yeah, there's
Indiana.
not a ton they can do there,
Jacob with a
and
huge frag.
yeah, that's GCU taking out South Carolina in that kind of central most compound, I should say. So that's actually a really good position for them to be in, even though is that three of them there? Can't really tell. I mean, just having three in a good location is better than having all four in a bad one. So I'm sure they'll take that. Looks like things will get real interesting here down on the south between Indiana, Sacred Heart, and then the lone remaining member of Mississippi State. Prodigal Knight just kind of waiting it out, seeing where zone goes, what he has to do. As soon as it shifts, he knows he has to move. Might be able to sneak up behind these last two Sacred Heart members and get 2 kills for his team before probably going out to Indiana. Let's see if who
The
spots who first
prodigal.
here. I think he hears them up above him, but I don't know if he knows if those two Sacred
Yeah,
Heart players are right beside him.
he definitely does not. It's going to be very interesting.
Nope. I don't think they know he's there.
You got one.
Knocks one. Goes for the flush. I think he saw the second one.
Yeah.
Trying to get a little pre-fire, see if he peeks.
Why is he looping? He's got to be very careful. Oh!
Oh no, just
Yeah.
ran up. Didn't know exactly where he was. Probably didn't know the terrain all that well. And Sacred Heart loses one, but still has one left to try to run into zone. And able to get free just before UNCC comes out of the water behind him.
J-Nup actually getting fired upon from the south east over there.
Yeah, it looks like Nomad Wrath and Span Cargo from UCF. Up Crawfresh taking them out from another direction. Yeah, I just caught between a couple teams there out in the open. That's not where you want to be. So it looks like Nomad
I
Wrath and
can
Span
learn to
Cargo, if they
understand
don't
you much.
know UNCC coming up from the side, might be caught out in the open there. And UNCC not knowing where Nomad Wrath is. Oh, and Nomad Wrath going down out in the zone. I don't think he'll be able to get rezzed. The zone actually shifting favorably for two of NCSU, Arizona State, one of the UCF teams, and UBC. And now GCU, SHU, UNCC, and Span Cargo, the lone remaining member of UCF Gold, have to rotate in. And Happy Feet taking out the last member of SHU there, so they'll go down to 8th. Looks like two teams know where Span Cargo is, and anytime she tries to do something, just immediately getting fired upon. They're trying to smoke her way out of this one, but once she runs out of those with this one, might not have much of a chance.
Span Cargo taking a few shots. Gets
Yeah.
P. Lewis there. Fire starts Caesar though,
Yeah.
but Span Cargo gonna get the turn.
Yeah, that was a real smart play by her to kind of throw the smoke and know she has to take on one of the two teams that were shooting at her, and just making that smart decision to go for the one that she had the best positioning on. She's driving straight towards NCSU here, and
Ooh.
yeah, in a car with a blown out tire, that's not too much she could have done there differently. Anywhere she rotated, it would have been right at a team.
Happy Feet's gonna try and give Jacob some cover here. ASU is just getting crossfired now, 2 players down. NCSU win though, gonna throw a frag onto the cars. Gonna blow it up. And now these 2 players are just on the other side of the smoke from each other.
Yeah, Winlow kind of backing off, seeing if he can get cover, get back to his teammates.
Crawfresh with a good spray down.
Going to pick up her teams. This Winlow in the smoke, and Happy Feet getting J Good throwing the smoke first because the one there was about to come out.
Winlow has it now. Winlow doesn't have any more nades. I was gonna say if he has another nade, he could just throw it into the smoke and probably get both of them.
Yep, and looks like the last 2 members of Grand Canyon here are just going to try to rotate away from NCSU. That's not a fight they want to take. One of the better teams in CBA, being down to only 2 left. You just want to kind of get out of there and see if you can salvage some points. They do get spotted by NCSU. CSU knows where Happy Feet is. Know they have to kill him in order to get into zone. You're just trying to figure out the best way to do that while not getting killed from ASU down the hill. Looks like UBC and UCF Black are actually in a fight across the street here. UBC definitely has probably the best position out of all the teams left in this house in the zone.
And Winlow's going to take out Happy Feet from GCU. It's going to leave 4
Yep.
teams remaining. Take a look at UBC taking some shots over at Arizona State.
Yeah, ASU is kind of in a bad spot here with having to rotate in between, kind of sandwiched between 2 teams as they try to get to zone. Yeah, and tried to go up that hill, but Regimes was waiting right there for him.
Some good nades coming out from UBC, getting a knock onto Pratt.
Yeah, they're just trying to gatekeep this UCF team from crossing that road effectively. And yep, their Regimes is going to clean up ASU, who goes out in 4th. Then Crossrush and Regimes taking his bike up to the high ground. And looks like they'll be able to, oh well, nice shot from Shabs with the and perhaps the last one from that UCF team. He's in the smoke.
He should be able
Just
to be
on the,
spotted, I would think.
yeah, he just barely peeked out of that smoke to throw the second one. We'll see if he's spotted at all on this road, prone, crawling across it. Maybe just trying to get
Logi's
in the zone
actually
here.
just trying to crawl behind him. Oh, no, there
Oh,
he goes.
there we go. AR 1213 spotted him, and now it's NCSU with a high ground versus UBC down in this house, and 3v3. Winlow getting low. Don't know if he got spotted from UBC. They know where he is, but he secured a pretty good spot in the zone for NCSU. Maybe they can try to rotate onto him.
Yeah, NCSU has a really good position right now. They've got 2 players on the high ground up here, and Winlow's kind of down in front.
Right.
Definitely
Yeah,
got
I'm
a lot
not
of
sure.
overwatch from his teammates.
I'm not sure UBC knows, exactly where Winlow is. So these smokes, he's going to be able to get up on them, maybe earlier than UBC expects, and potentially get 1 or 2 downs. Not looking over this ridge.
Ooh, good turns from NCSU. Shabs is going to be the last one alive here, but he's only got 9 HP to work with, and he's gonna first aid real quick, but can he be spotted by Winlow?
Get spotted, yep. And that's a win for NCSU. Had 13 kills, real impressive out of them, especially in the late game management. They weren't necessarily in the best spot, but rotating as early as they could.
So NCSU coming in first place, University of British Columbia coming in second. I think that's UCF coming in third, ASU in fourth, and GCU in fifth place. So next match we'll have the logos fixed so that it will display correctly. Apologies for that on my end. There's a little bit of miscommunication as far as the team numbers go this week, but we'll have that all sorted out. And we'll be back in just a few moments. Stick around.
What are these passwords? I'll be back in a second.
When you feel the world is over, when you say you're feeling lonely, if you ever need a shoulder, you know where to find me. Stop chasing all the city lights. Breathe me in, go on and take your bite. Count on me to make you come alive.
It's supposed to be yellow.
I think the girls with their nails done now. Girls with their nails done. I think the girls with their nails done. Girls with their nails done. I think the girls with their nails done now. girls with their nails done now. Girls with their nails done. 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 When it hurts like this, we climb the greatest heights, jump down and have a fight, and that's all we'll ever like. But that can never change my mind. When it's good, it's amazing. When it's bad, it's uneasy. I wouldn't have it another way. There's no other way. When it hurts like this, never like, never like, never like, never like, never like, never like.
Alrighty, we're back with game number 2.
Yeehaw.
Let's go. Let's get it. I fixed the logos. Or better yet, our players are so smart they fixed the logos.
Look at them go.
Proud of them.
I am so proud of this community.
It is quite a great community, I must say.
Yep. Really similar plane path. A little more diagonal, but
I'd say most teams will probably have the same drop that they did in game number 1.
yeah, we'll have to see how those few teams that went over towards the Gatka area, if they stretch it or if they go somewhere else. But other than that, looks like most of the teams should be able to hit their drop.
And even then, I was surprised that Gatka had, it was contested for
Yeah, for sure. Because
2
I mean,
teams.
it's a good spot. You have the guaranteed spawn and some pretty good loot, especially if you can hit the compounds around it. And it's on the main island with a pretty easy rotate to that west bridge, but not usually contested. And yeah, there goes the UCF gold team, dropping first, dropping towards Sev.
I feel like a lot of teams just decide to like drop out of the plane, like right in the middle of the plane pass. There's
Yeah,
not
that's
room.
we did that a few times last season where we just kind of reaction drop. ASU actually mixing it up. Looks like they're going Yaz. That's going to be contested with Mississippi State, and then they're going to have UCF Black down towards Mansion below them. Depending on where Circle goes, they might have to rotate straight into that team. They're actually landing kind of close to each other in Yasnaya, and then let's see. No, it does not look like UBC is going Pachinki with South Carolina.
It's actually 2 teams in Yasnaya though. And wait, SHU chose to go prison as did
It looks like number 10 is
Morningside.
Morningside. Yep.
Yeah.
So that'll be an interesting fight early on. See who gets, the better loot. Good call from ASU, not going to mill base because they'd be having to rotate right now, right past Liberty, and potentially on up to another team that rotates in. So if they can win this Yasnaya fight, it'll definitely be a decision they'll be happy with.
Yeah, I'm taking a look at this prison fight. SHU Haggy still dropping in the air with his parachute. I'm not sure like why there was such a delay in him landing.
Yeah, I don't know, but does make it to the ground fairly
Makes it to the
safely.
ground at
Maybe
half
some
HP,
damage.
but
But he's
still.
alive, so I guess that should be a win there considering the circumstances. Be interested to see if these two teams in Yasnaya decide to fight or if they kind of give each other some space and maybe go their separate ways, not wanting to risk losing a teammate this early on.
Taking a
A
look at
lot of open space.
SHU and Morningside. SHU actually has Morningside kind of pinched between, or sandwiched, I should say.
Yeah, this is definitely interesting. A situation you want to kind of conserve your ammo because you don't really have a lot of chances to get a ton of loot dropping on a team that plays this small.
Hagi barely missing those shots with the DP. He's got it
I
three
don't know if
times.
does Gaming Warlord know that Dr. TikTok's this close to him? 'Cause if not, that could be a big problem for SHU.
That's very true. Dr. TikTok
I mean, if he
got
just kind of if he holds this barrel that he's at, he might be able to get a quick peek if someone's in that corner room or if they just run right by him. It does not appear as they know he's there. No, they do not, because
oh
yeah,
no.
Haggy just runs straight out in front of him. Thought he was all alone. Goes straight up the steps of that guard tower and looks like he might get finished here.
Yep.
Yeah. And that's just, it's unfortunate for him. Does only even it out to a 3v3 though. As I say that, Gaming Warlord is going to go down.
Same with
No,
Melodious.
yep, so it's just foolish. Looks like he might be trying to back off here and see if they can get away with just having one remaining. It looks like he'll probably get away as long as they don't sight him here at the last possible second.
ASU's gonna crash Mansion and UCF's already here.
Yeah, but it is only 2 members of UCF, so ASU
Ooh.
could win with a third rotating in.
Crap
It
got a
looks
hit
like
on
they might,
Brewer there.
yeah. See if they, audible out of it or if they just kind of fully commit to the push and see if they can get some points here off the kills. But it looks like they're just going to rotate away to these yellow houses. Probably the best decision. And like I said, you don't really want to lose anyone early on. That's just such a hindrance moving forward. And that crate dropped way out in the ocean right by Melta Power, so UNCC really the only team that could go for it, but probably not worth their time to even try.
Almost all the teams are almost in circle now. So no one's kind of really rotating late.
That's the thing in CBA is you really do want to try to rotate early, otherwise you'll get caught out of position, and you'll have teams that rotated early that'll get you on your rotate. So the earlier you can get in and kind of establish yourself, the better off you'll be. It looks like 2 members of UBC might actually be able to pick up this care package outside of school. It does have a AUG in it with level 3 gear and a ghillie, so if they decide to go that way, which it looks like they're not, so that one will probably remain unlooted all game.
Gets Link taking a few shots over at UBC.
Yeah, that's they are going for, the UBC has a really big split here. You have 2 members down towards Farm and Milta, then the other 2 are up by school. And they're actually going to get that care package with the AUG and Gilly in level 3 gear. So seeing Shavs is rotating towards Pilui from UNCC. So if they go down, they'll only have those two left.
Yeah, Slinka and Liberty need to be careful here. They hear shots coming from the compound, but they're kind of exposed now. And there's really not much cover besides, you know, these small little trees to hide behind.
Yeah, it looks like they're trying to wrap, around this hill as much as they can to get that cover. But if they go too far, they'll run into AR 1215 or 1213 from UBC.
P. Lewis
And
gonna be able to
Shab's going
finish off
down.
Jabs.
Yeah, up finish, yes. So it's just, AR 1213 surrounded by, 4 teams here, and then his 2 teammates up by school rotating in. An interesting split from them, and looking like it may not work out the way they were hoping it would. Up in the north towards Yaz, you have UCF looting that warehouse south of Stallber, and them in Mississippi State may be on a collision course depending on this circle, who are still in Yasnaya looting.
So the rest of UBC is gonna try and regroup with AR 1213.
Yeah, if they go straight towards them, they have a shot. The only team that really poses a threat there is South Carolina. If they can get by them, there's a lot of trees there. That might be able to protect them from the shots. And ASU rotating, as soon as that zone pop, they're rotating towards the center. So they're, going to get in on this action. They may cut off UBC or, see what happens there. And NCSU
NCSU is
doing the
also
same
gonna
thing.
rotate as well. AR 1213. I wonder if he decides to take shots at ASU here. I would.
Not, yeah, especially the buggy.
Yeah,
With as exposed as those buggy tires are, it seems like you'd want to take shots because if you get a pop there, he's kind of butter the toast would have been out in no man's land. But instead, ASU is able to get to this sniper tower and kind of set up. NCSU firing down on Indiana in that warehouse below shelter. Now you have all except Mississippi State and then a few members of UCF Gold are the only people not in circle yet, which is just, kind of shows how fast these rotates are coming out from all the teams.
exactly. Phase 2 about to close in.
Yeah, it's, just now starting, and all the teams except for 2, it looks like, are fully in. And Mississippi State actually flipped one of their cars. They're gonna try to undo it, and they can. So not having the best of games tonight. With the team kill last game and then flipping that vehicle, but they're on their way now to get into zone.
There's a ton of teams in this area right north of prison. Or south, I should say. Frag's coming out from North Carolina. Charlotte.
Yeah, you have Fear to Fork kind of pushing out, maybe trying to provide his team cover, slow down this push from UNCC. But they're just going to keep on coming. Maybe they know Fork's isolated and may try to, take advantage of the positioning. But Brewer and Butter the Toast are going to provide good cover right in front of that tower. Fork with a nice spray on Pilui. Another one on Storm. Yeah, that really helps. You're able to give your team some more space there, and Fork goes down. And Nomad Wrath from UCF is going to finish off Foolish from SHU, and they're going to go out at 13.
Butter gonna try and go for the res here. I don't know if that's the right call.
Yeah.
Currently only 2
wonder
members standing.
He's
Fun
going for the res
Slayers.
now. Firestar's gonna try to rotate down on him. Won't really have an angle because of this hill. And usually this is where you'd see smokes come out, but I wonder if ASU just doesn't have them. And the last two members of UNCC actually backing off. That's pretty much admitting defeat in this team fight and letting ASU get all their members up and kind of recollect themselves. And with that, both of those teams are going to be out of this next zone, which is very open on the west side. And you only have really the one UCF team, it looks like, on the western half of this circle. All these other teams are going to have to rotate down on the northeast. Mississippi State might be able to rotate around down to the west side if they hug the edge of this current circle. We'll see what they decide to do.
I think GCU has a really prime spot being at farm right now. That's kind of
Yeah,
the only real
definitely.
compound within this circle.
Yeah, you have that one and then the one out kind of on the western side that's all the houses on either side of the road, but even that's not the best just because of the different elevations those houses are at. Mississippi State going to rotate right by UCF. No shots yet. There they go. And Mississippi State and NCSU looking like they may be going towards potentially playing that ridge on the northern side of the circle.
Okay, Pat taking some shots at the tires down there. Not gonna let UCF Black have a means of transportation.
Now, and that's something, that'll really help NCSU here is knowing that that team, doesn't have that vehicle to its full capacity. If they take the tires out, they may have to run up on foot, and that's a real open area they'd have to rotate through. Over here on the eastern side, ASU is in a kind of two-way fight between UBC and Morningside, and they're gonna kind of chase Dr. TikTok off of Kiba and finish him.
Oh yeah, what?
Uh,
Dr. TikTok just running away. Oh
and
no.
he's gonna get gunned down
You
and fork
definitely at
with
that
the.
point, like, there's no cover for you. You just want to hold your ground and fight it.
Yeah, and ASU doing a real good job there of just taking out both teams that pose an immediate threat to them, and now they have this eastern side all to themselves until UCF rotating towards them.
Exactly.
We'll see right at ASU, so they may be able to get a kill or two here. UCF able to go low on this ridge, and it looks like, yeah, they'll be able to rotate in safely by ASU, get the information that ASU is where they are, and take this compound that South Carolina was in earlier, towards the center zone. And wow, next circle shifts and two teams are in it. GCU is dead center and farm, and South Carolina is holding the north side. Um, Liberty should have a pretty easy rotation in since there's no one down on that southeast to contest them, and Mississippi State will probably be able to get in on the west side fairly free. But other than that, coming in from the north here is going to be real challenging coming down that ridge towards farm and right at Grand Canyon. NCSU putting shots down on UCF as they're rotating, and Mississippi State rotating in as well. They may rotate right under UCF and probably going to get shot at here.
Oh, Conan Cake's gonna get run over.
Oh wow, so Gathlinka and Greta the Goat are going to be going up against four members of UCF. And they're backed into this one house. Gets a knock on Span Cargo. But Nomad is able to take down Gathlinka, and it's all up to Greta to see if she can possibly 1v3 here. Trade some shots with Ox. Dragon gonna go pick up Span. Nomad knocks pushing Greta and are able to trade her out. That was a really good team push there. You get one knock, but you're able to have the second one there to clean up the kill and eliminate the team, pick up your knock, and you're in zone. should be able to heal up before ASU be able to win. Yeah, it looks like ASU is going straight towards where UCF is, where they just finished up a fight with Liberty.
Did they spot him out? Yeah, they do.
Yeah, I imagine they heard the shots. I think they were within the range, and seeing the names, they may have thought, seeing a couple members get knocked from UCF, thinking that's a favorable fight for them to take, especially with these, guard towers on either side of the road. Nice shot from Fear to Fork to take out Dragon and get him knocked. That's a really tough spot to
Though
get
that
knocked
nade
on the
might do
outside
a
of the
lot
house.
of work here.
Oh wow,
Actually
not.
doesn't connect on anyone.
Yeah, if they get a nade on the backside of this house, that's, probably taking out Ox and Span.
Another nade coming out
Wow.
for UCF. That one's gonna bank off the barricade there.
Wow. And Rubik's Cube from up on the northern side, able to steal the kill. Moonslayer knocking Span. Ooh, a
that
nade
nade
from
had a
Butter the
great
Toast.
bounce.
Taking out Ox Johnson and Nomad down to about quarter health. And ASU knows they have one left. Just gonna try to push. Nomad able to take out Pun, gets low. And there we go. ASU able to just push up, and just as soon as the momentum shifted in their direction, they just pounced.
Nomad almost was able to get 2 knocked there. It was a good fight by UCF, definitely.
Yeah, just, I mean, that nade, getting the first knock and then having, Indiana steal it, and then that nade, getting the second knock. ASU knowing it's a 2v4 and just being aggressive. That's really what you like to see too out of them, is even though you might have 1 or 2 people knocked during the fight, you definitely just want to try to take whatever advantage you can to get the team wipe, secure yourself some points in another placement. Now they are going to have to rotate in, looks like towards Indiana and Grand Canyon. And they have to do it on foot because they did blow up that vehicle that was outside of UCF's house. Crap able to knock Firestar with a K9 over here on the northwestern side of zone. Neither team has a ton of hard cover. You see overrated jumps and Firestar from UNCC, just trying to hide behind this shack and secure some, placement points or potentially some kills for their team. But they are going to have South Carolina rotating behind them if they're not careful. And JT able to steal the kill on Firestar, get those points. And, overrated jumps is just in a really unfortunate spot here, surrounded almost by 3 teams if South Carolina can spot him out. UCF has to be careful not to get over aggressive here and get called out by NCSU or Mississippi State. Or overrated jumps, getting a knock on Bond's guard, getting shot at from multiple directions. Everyone's just trying to get that finish, and Chaotic's going to get it from South Carolina. So that's 3 members left for that UCF Black team, and they're going to back off. Janop able to get a knock on Diddy. Not going to probably be able to get the flush. They're too far away, and there's just open space in between them. But during that whole fight, ASU was actually able to rotate into the south part of Farm. So you have 3 teams all in those compounds right by Farm, and then Mississippi State out in the field, along with South Carolina, and then UCF Black and the last member of UNCC on the far northwestern side of the circle, and then NCSU really holding down that southwestern side. Yeah, overrated jumps from UNCC, and then UCF Black are really not in a great spot here. They kind of have to pick their poison, rotate at Mississippi State or NCSU. or South Carolina getting gate kept by 3 teams all at the same time.
UCF Black gonna be in a hard spot right now, trying to just find their way into the zone. It's not gonna be easy for them.
Yeah, I mean, there's just no good way for them to rotate in right now. There's teams really all on the edge of the circle because no one wants to be in the middle of it. Just these giant fields. It's probably going to come down to where this next zone shifts and who has to move first. And South Carolina taking shots on overrated from UNCC and NCSU taking shots on UCF. South Carolina getting in on it too with UCF. This zone slowly pushing them in. Pratt able to get a knock on Aziz from South Carolina that might take some of the heat off of them from that direction. And Gumdrop able to finish off overrated jumps from UNCC. They go out in eighth. Good job from him staying alive that long after the early fight with ASU.
Is all of them Mississippi State in this watchtower?
Yeah, so
Boy.
one or two nades is gonna. Let's see, they are split 2-2 upper and lower. Um,
There's really no window that looks out towards the west either,
no,
which
there's
is
not.
good
So
for Central Florida.
yeah, it's kind of dangerous though because if Central Florida starts to rotate down, my bad, NC State is going to be able to actually see them fairly easily. There's not that many trees between that hill and the tower. And yep, Crawford able to take down Pratt, knock him, get some damage from him. Yep, Aziz able to get the kill. And that's the problem is, UCF's just pinched between these two teams and they're going straight at another one. There's just not a ton you can do if you don't operate off of a pick. Are able to get in. Gets knocked. JT&T got a knock on Winlow.
Oh, he's gonna try and deny a kill. He ran literally
And
back into the zone just to deny a kill.
I mean, that's smart.
It's
I
like
think they
200
realize
IQ there.
there's no feasible way for them to get out of that one alive with 3 teams shooting at them. So they just decided that their best course of action was to not let another team get that point. So it looks like ASU and Grand Canyon are the only two in zone right now. And that's not good news for the other teams because all they have is fields in between them. There's a ridge in the center of zone that might be able to protect whichever team lives out of Mississippi State, NCSU, and South Carolina from Grand Canyon, but
This North Carolina crash is going to be very interesting here in the next couple of seconds. ASU is going to have the first peek at them. They're actually going to decide to kind of park on the outside.
JT able to get a knock on Gav in the north and in finish.
Did they-
So it's just chaotic versus the 4 members of Mississippi State. A good nade from chaotic takes Call Me Doug down to 3rd health. Mississippi State trying to rotate through the smoke up to that ridge. Jay Good able to take Prodigal Knight. And Thunderblitz able to take out Chaotic. So now Mississippi State has to move now, trying to get into zone. Potentially safe from Grand Canyon. And ASU taking out NCSU.
Oh, that was a big nade coming out from Hunslayer
Now
there to
4th
knock out
and 2.
Winlow.
Yep, and that's 10 kills right now from ASU. And they've still got Crawfresh out here in these smokes that are starting to lose it. Getting that down again. And during all this, you have GCU and Indiana fighting, but now it's down to Gobble Gobble from Indiana against ASU for Grand Canyon. And there we go, Grand Canyon taking out Indiana. So Mississippi State's actually going to be able to secure at least 3rd place in that field, letting the other teams take each other out.
Will be a 3v3v4. going into this final circle. Advantage definitely
Actually,
going towards Arizona State.
yeah, it looks like Arizona State and Grand Canyon have all 4 up each, and then Mississippi State has the 3. So
Oh,
JT is
GCU does
in.
have all 4 up. Okay.
Call Me Doug, I believe, was the one who took that M24 shot.
Frida Fork is going on an aggressive like
That tower play.
tower. I'm
It could work.
surprised.
You know, he's going to have a pretty decent sight line in Mississippi State if they, try to do anything away from that canopy. He's actually going to be able to be the, potentially lone player to spot them. And then with a K9, that's just an instant knock if he can land a headshot on anyone but Duck, who does have a level 3 helmet. So JT and Thunderblitz really need to be careful here not to overexpose themselves to Fear to Fork.
If Arizona State's able to get 2 members up here, that might just secure them the win.
Yeah, they able to see down on GCU. Happy Feet's able to knock Punslayer, but I don't know if they know if Fork's up here. And Diddy gets hit, but not knocked. And I think they know now that Fear to Fork is up top. Oh, he's gonna have a free
no,
knock on
Thunder's right
Thunderblitz.
out in the open.
Yeah, that's. I don't know if they knew he was up here, and that's real smart move out of Fear to Fork to get that elevation. There was a smoke at GCU. I wonder if he meant to do that or.
You know, that actually might not be a bad play because that kind of forces the enemy team to have limited visibility coming out of that compound.
Yep. Spotting out J Good on the edge of zone, who was taking shots at Mississippi State. I don't know if J Good knows he's up here. And
Ooh.
Call Me Duck able to knock J Good.
The kill was stolen though.
And Call Me Duck almost got called out in the open trying to go for that finish. But Fork did not have any ammo and is smoking himself here, batting. GCU making an aggressive push, trying to take out this last member of Mississippi State before they're able to secure the center zone. As this last one towards the middle, and yep, there it is out of Happy Feet,
Just
able
gotta
to
be
take out
careful.
Call Me
Fear the
Duck.
Fork is still up there in the tower.
And able to get to the rock that provides a solid cover for Fork, and he's gonna have to come down from this tower very soon, otherwise he's gonna risk getting caught out in this blue. And yep, there he goes. So it's a 4v3.
Nice shots
Two
coming out
from
from Happy
ASU going
Feet.
down. Gumdrop
GCU
buttons goes
looking
down.
pretty
So
good
it's a
here.
2v2. Now, each team only has 2 up, but GCU is in the center, so that they have that going for them. Happy Feet rotating Brewer, able to take him down. So
One left for ASU. Happy Feet gonna take the final spray and gonna get the
there we
kill.
go. 13 kills. I think that's the second game in a row the winning teams had 13. But a real nice team play from GCU right there at the end. Spreading out, covering as much of the zone as they could.
Yeah, GCU definitely played that very well in that last circle. Didn't go too aggressive in any direction. Just kind of let the game play out without forcing anything.
And I mean, that's kind of what you have to do there in that last zone is, if you know it's a 4v4 or a 4v3, the last thing you want is to make some mistakes and give the other team an advantage. So getting into the center and kind of spreading out as much as you can to cover as much of the zone as possible and force the enemy team right where you want them, that's definitely a real nice play out of them.
Yep, so with that, we have Grand Canyon University in first place, Arizona State in second, Mississippi State in third. That's going to be Indiana University in fourth, and North Carolina State in fifth. And we'll conclude game 2, and we'll bring you guys game number 3 in just a few minutes. Stick around.
come to wake me up. Tell me that this is all just a dream. I'm still waiting for a different sign, waiting for someone to take me away. Get these thoughts off my mind. As I wait, thinking of you, hoping that you are thinking of me too. I cannot sleep without you by me, and I miss you, I miss you, I miss you. That is why I've been waiting for someone like you. That is why I've been waiting for someone like you. Still waiting for your witty replies, waiting for your touch and kiss. I can't get you off my mind. I am trying to live another day
I live inside my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in the cradles, profanities. I see the world through ice covered in ink and bleach. Cross out the ones who heard my cries and watched me weep. I love everything. Fire spreading all around my room. My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush. Take my eyes open to force reality. Why can't you just let me eat my weight in glee? I live inside my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in their cradles, profanities. Some days I feel skinnier than all the other days. Sometimes I can't tell if my body belongs to me. I love everything. Fire spreading all around my room. My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush. I wanna taste your content, hold your breath. assumption. Devils hide behind redemption. Honesty is a one-way gate to hell. I wanna taste consumption. Breathe faster to waste oxygen. Hear the children sing aloud. It's music till the wick burns out. Just wanna be carefree lately, yeah. Just kicking up daisies. Got one too many quarters in my pockets. Counting like the four-leaf clovers in my locket. Untied laces, yeah. Just tripping on daydreams. Got dirty little lullabies playing on repeat. Might as well just ride around the nursery and count sheep.
Alrighty, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Collegiate PUBG. I'm casting alongside Sino.
Hi there, how's it going? So, slightly different plane from the last two. We'll see where teams go, how they adjust. And Mississippi State out early. It looks like they're going Stauber-Kameshki split, maybe? Then UCF Black also jumping early, going south, probably towards Mansion. It's looking like Yasnaya may be left untouched.
That's actually really surprising considering the plane literally went right over it.
Yeah. You'd think like UCF Black would maybe adjust going from Lipovka Mansion area towards Yasnaya, seeing no one there. Or maybe Mississippi State might rotate in early if they think no one's going that direction.
A lot of teams also chose to kind of late drop. Like, no one really dropped early.
Yeah, it looks like ASU going up towards George. UCF Gold kind of taking these compounds outside of Quarry. UBC going the compound south of GACA. No one landing in GACA. South Carolina able to get Pachinki all to themselves.
Bit south, I think we have.
Okay, I'm back. What's going on?
Welcome back. Just a
Sorry,
fight going
sorry
on
about that. I've been keeping the stream going, but there is a little issue in lobby 1.
So it's a 2v3 here between Indiana and NCSU in Rosshawk. And this north side of Circle has no one in it. Also does have a crate just sitting out there in the open for the taking with a Mark 14 and level 3 gear. So if someone's bold enough to go for that, they'll be pleasantly surprised. A lot of teams going to have to rotate through the south side of this circle. Grand Canyon rotating towards ASU, but ASU not really wanting to have any of it and rotating out before shots can go down. It looks like Indiana and NCSU are kind of at a standoff here in Rosshawk. It looks like Mississippi State gonna rotate along that northern road into some uncontested.
APAT with a nice flank onto Rubik's Cube there. Gonna leave Indiana University with 2 players alive.
Yeah, and Rubik's Cube not in a great spot. is only his first knock, so they do have time to kind of play around, see if they can get a knock on NCSU to open up the chance for a revive. But NCSU doesn't want to let them have that and just going to do whatever they can to hold them off, knowing where JNUP and Toxic Marker are. Conan Cake actually knocking himself
I feel like
further away.
I
I
haven't
think
seen
that's the
that.
like second time.
Yeah, I feel like that's not the first time I've seen that tonight.
Maybe he was on a bike and it flipped or something. I don't know. Yeah, I think that's what happened because I'm looking at him now and I don't see a vehicle nearby, so it must have been, either falling out of a vehicle accidentally or, going a little too fast on a bike, hitting a bump and flipping. But they're gonna get the revive on him, no problem. There's actually 3 teams real close to each other towards the center of zone south of shooting range. You have one of the UCF teams and then South Carolina and Liberty all right by each other, and Incubator is going to be able to get a knock on Ogie from UCF, but it looks like Prep and Yonta are going to be able to get there to get the res before any finish can come out. And K-Pack getting the final knock on Rubik's Cube, so Toxic and J-Nup were not able to get to him. And they may just back off here. UCF wisely backing away, and Gathlinko from Liberty going to meet up with Supreme Yoshi, and it looks like Conan and that US, they're all just going to try to rotate out and get safe, want to avoid an early fight and losing someone sooner than they have to. So yeah, as this zone's about to close, it looks like we'll avoid any more, major fights before this next zone pops, unless, UCF with Prap and Ogie rotate too close to Liberty in their compound. And a hard shift to the eastern side is going to leave several teams scrambling to get back in position. You have ASU, who was fairly center circle of that previous zone, now out. You're going to have to find a new way. Whereas Mississippi State was on the far northeast side, probably thinking they're going to have to rotate and they're in circle.
Liberty taking some shots over at UCF Black. They do have a few ridges for cover. They're actually going to take a shooting range.
Looks like really any knock here is not going to be able to be followed up, between the different ridges UCF has to play and then the houses.
It's actually a lot of teams crashing from the west right now. There's UCF as well as UCB. Liberty might have a chance at getting some knocks here.
Yeah, they're gonna have to pick which one they want because they're coming at the same time. But they're taking shots at UBC. And it looks like UBC and UCF Gold are going to be able to rotate by Liberty. Actually starting to converge on the same area. Wonder if they're going to run into each other and have a fight. Shabs and Quack Duty getting out to shoot at Span Cargo.
Happy Feet is a lone player here running into Arizona State. This might be a little bit of payback from last game.
Yep, and
he took the victory.
That's not a team you want to run into alone right there. ASU, 4 really good players, and looks like the rest of Grand Canyon is going to wisely swing wide of them and try to, survive as long as possible, rotating up towards Liberty. it looks like Grand Canyon might see this crate dropping and want to get what's in it. And if they do, they are going to get an M249 with 200 rounds and level 3 gear. But they just drive by. They don't want it.
UBC now might find some kills. J Good's gonna try and get the run over kill.
Oh, he gets it, but they get J Good after he can. Oh, wow. So
Oh, did he?
Doesn't even credit J Good with the knock there. So gumdrop buttons. Last one alive crashes into Severny. UBC probably going to be able to pick up Quack Duty here.
Oh, a lot of
Scan
vehicles blowing up
cargo.
right now.
Yeah, able to get a kill on overrated jumps just by blowing up a vehicle. Leaving Storm by himself in Severny, and then the other two members of UNCC right by UCF Black in shooting range. The other two members of UNCC are actually down in that little bunker. UCF knows they're there. That's such a hard place to fight because you have UNCC that can just kind of peek the entrance, and UCF can't really push down effectively, so they're just going to back off and try to reset in this zone. Dragon Legends able to get a knock on Quake Duty. Then this next zone shifting hard to the south, so again, a lot of teams are finding themselves out of position and having to rotate. It looks like NCSU is actually going to be able to get free across in the southeast into the zone. A lot of teams on the north side near Severny and shooting range. You have, ASU and Liberty rotating pretty much right behind each other, and they're going to run into Morningside if they stay on that southwest side too long. And it looks like ASU is going to pull up onto a ridge right below some houses that are uninhabited, but I don't think they know that just yet. They're probably going to take a peek over, look and see if anyone's in the compound and peeks them, and then just go take it. But they hear Liberty and SHU rotating in behind them. So they're definitely going to want to keep their eye out and try to get some kills here.
Arizona State
Yoshi.
might look to get some kills on the SHU.
Oh no, Void hitting Supreme Yoshi. A lot of vehicle knocks here. So there's one member of Morningside left up. And they are nowhere near Dr. TikTok to help here. Sakiba down near Rozhog. But ASU is going to take a peek over this ridge and try to get the last couple members of Liberty and see if they can get some kills there. A lot of teams here on the northwestern side. You have Sacred Heart going right in the middle of
Oh my
UCF.
gosh.
But it does not pay off between Gumdrop and UCF shooting at them. They didn't really stand much of a chance there. And this next zone shifted hard, and the only team in it is actually South Carolina, and Liberty just now rotating in. So this game has seen a lot of hard shifts from this circle. I mean, you have like 7 teams out in the north side, and only 5 either in zone or right below zone. So it's gonna probably have a lot of shots as soon as this circle starts closing. Mississippi State sends JT&T and one other to rotate first, maybe try to secure themselves a spot in zone, and then have Call Me Duck and the other team member follow up behind them, get all 4 in. And it looks like they're going to be able to take the gas station on the northeastern side. TNT and Thunderbolt are Knight following up. ASU shooting at Liberty over on the western side. That's a 4v2 between ASU and then Gathlinka and Conan Cake of Liberty. Now you start to see all the teams from the northern edge of zone start coming in, trying to rotate, trying to establish themselves inside zone. And if ASU's not careful here, they may have someone such as UNCC come in behind them, or South Carolina shooting them from the side like's happening now. They really need to get into this compound. Gav able to take out C Brewer. Fear before gonna try to get the res.
Oh no, they're gonna get shot from behind from
UNCC gets them
UNCC.
from behind.
Fear to Fork with barely a sliver of health.
And Gav actually helping out ASU, taking out one of the last members of UNCC before I Butter the Toast can get the last member. And so Fear to Fork's going to be safe from that side, but he's still not in a great position with South Carolina. You saw during all of that, Liberty had Gathlinka and Conan Cade actually back down and play more a ridge to the southeast of that compound just to try to get safe. And ASU's having a crate dropped right on them. And inside's an Alm with an 8x and all level 3 gear. Could be very helpful in these last couple circles if they decide to go for it. UCF fighting UBC on the northwest side. Prap gets Shabs. K-Pack gets gumdrop buttons, but Crawfresh hits himself with a vehicle. Don't know what exactly happened there, but it looks like K-Pat's going to be able to get him before any other teams can locate him and get the finish. South Carolina and ASU both taking turns shooting at Iowa State from UBC. South Carolina also shooting at UCF up on that northwestern side. Chaotic able to knock Bonsguard and get the finish coming from Gav. So that leaves 2 left for UCF Black. And the zone shifts towards the east side. So NC State, Indiana, South Carolina are the only ones in it right now, and UCF Gold is able to rotate in on the eastern side. Mississippi State is very close on the northeastern side, but they're going to have to rotate in under the eye of Indiana. There is a pretty steep hill between Mississippi State and Indiana, so if Indiana doesn't know to look over it or doesn't suspect a team there, they might be able to rotate up into one of the only houses left and potentially have themselves a decent spot for the next zone. But whatever they do, they're going to have to do it quickly as the zone's about to start closing in behind them. South Carolina taking shots at ASU, ASU firing back. I don't know if they know that the last member of UBC is actually in between them right now. Saint could play spoiler right now if he just kind of stays low on this house. We'll probably have pretty free shots on Fear to Fork, but he just opts to stay in the shed, play for position, covering that door. Not a bad play if you're a solo player. I don't know if ASU knows he's right there, so if one of them tries to go into that shed to med or something like that, they could find themselves a man down very quickly.
K-Pat's gonna get a knock onto Nomad Wrath over in the right
this
side.
UCF Gold's not in the best of spots here. They're just really out in the open, and as soon as NCSU was able to spot them out, they're able to kind of come in and try to get these finishes.
Ooh, that grenade actually hit
really
the tree.
impressive. With 2 down, they see all this smoke. They know they're going to be going for reses inside the smoke, so they're just doing what they can to nade it. Yep, as soon as Span Cargo and Nomad tried to get out,
Cape
They
had
probably
with the
weren't
easy
expecting
spray.
that push. Probably weren't expecting that push from NCSU. Out in the open like that, add a bunch of smoke, but definitely a good decision from NCSU as they're able to get back to the sniper tower without any other fight. And Mississippi State's actually going to rotate right behind where UCF was. They may not know that, UCF was the one that died here and that's their smoke still. And on the flip side, NC State probably not expecting a team to be there that quickly. But NC State in the next zone, along with Indiana and Liberty. So you're going to have UCF Black try to rotate in along with South Carolina, ASU, and the last member of UBC. With Kibo from the morning side down on the south side of that, little northern strip of land. Might have a pretty easy rotate into the circle if he can just stay on that coastline and not be seen by K-Pat or Crawfresh. Just trying to get his team some placement points here.
Crawford's gonna knock him product tonight. JT gonna try and trade. Does get a hit.
K-Pat pretty low.
Oh, that nade's right on top of him.
Oh, wow. That was a really nice nade. So that brings it to a 2v2. And that's huge for NCSU. And they're going to do the same thing they did against UCF and just get real aggressive with it.
Mississippi State's not really looking in the right spot. They think there's at least Thunderblitz
K-Pat with
thinks
another
there's
nade.
still. Look at this wrap from NCSU. Thunderblitz has no idea. Oh my gosh,
wow.
North Carolina State just wiping.
They don't know where Thunderblitz is, though. They're looking down.
Thunderblitz doesn't know where NCSU is. Now he does. Gets one. Can he get two?
Able to get Crawford slow.
He's down to half
Indiana might
HP.
actually come back behind Crawford.
Wow.
Oh, Thunderblitz getting NCSU.
Clutched it for his team.
Now he's got to be careful because J-Knob from Indiana is going to probably spot him out here.
It's going to be very close. Yeah, they do. J-Nup, you see him, buddy. J-Nup on the left. J-Nup, he's running right past him.
Oh, no.
Oh, my gosh.
No. Thunderblitz has to hit that spray there, but J-Knob
should have been dead, like, way sooner. I know they were rezzing, but oh my gosh.
Yeah, they needed to see them a lot sooner there. But all that action actually helped Kiba get under this bridge, or right beside it, in zone, and securing an at least 5th.
All of South Carolina now being forced out by the zone. That's just a frenzy.
They just got pushed straight into UCF Black, and Prapp and Ogie doing some work. So there's 4 teams left with 7 alive, a 2v2v 2v1, and they're all on complete opposite sides of the circle. With Indiana and UCF Black actually rotating towards that lone house on the northeast side, right at each other. This is going to result in a, pretty, probably elongated fight. I can't imagine either team's going to be in much of a rush to finish it. Yep, especially since they're both out of zone. UCF probably going to back off and just try to rotate in. And same with Indiana, going to go back down the direction they were going before they heard those shots out of UCF Black at South Carolina. Then Liberty and Kiba both able to, pretty much get in without any incident. Liberty might see Kiba down here on the south side. He is not looking the, right direction at all, but he's very well hidden on these rocks. But Gaflinka is going to get really close to him and, way ahead of Cone and Cake.
What?
Oh, what was Kiba doing?
Was Kiba just like not listening?
I don't know. I mean, pretty sure Kiba had his K9 out instead of the AR and just looked the complete wrong direction when Gaflinka came over that ridge. So now we're going to have 3 teams of 2 left.
Liberty does not want to be in this spot.
No, they're going to be able to be called out from, I think, both sides here if they aren't careful. And then just getting up and end zone is going to be real tough for them a little later on. Prapp and Ogie getting real split from each other. I don't know if that's the best move this late, only having 2 left, because if one gets knocked, then you put the other one in a really bad position. You see Liberty and Indiana both sticking together. their 2 teammates each. Now that Prep's shooting, Indiana's going to know where he is and Liberty. So Ogi's going to definitely have to try to provide some support. But Prep
Ooh,
actually able to
Prep
take
gets
him down
J-Knob and doing a lot of work
on
on.
Toxic. Yeah, that's Toxic's probably not going to be able to get Jane up here, so that's going to go down to a 2v2v1. Gonna run for it.
Oh, he's gonna
Don't know if
try.
that's
I think it's too little, too late.
yeah,
He might just lose his life
yeah,
for that.
yeah. I think, especially since it was J-Nop's second knock and he couldn't really develop a push, that the best decision there would have just been to let J-Nop bleed out and try to fend for yourself. As bad as that may sound. So now Prap and Ogi gonna have the high ground on Conan and Gathlinka here. All it takes is one knock to really turn this fight on its side.
It's an even 2v2, but UCF has the high ground here.
Yeah, and Ogi able to get a nice angle on Gathlinka and Conan taking some damage as well. They're both gonna have to med. Gathlinka moving off to the right of his previous position, getting spotted out from Prep and knocked. So it's gonna be up to Conan here to, try to 1v2 this. And he's not able to. Prep taking out Conan and then win out of UCF Black there.
Yeah, definitely a great fight coming out from UCF. They definitely controlled that last circle, knocking J-Nop, and then kind of forcing, I think, Toxic Marker to make a move on him to try and get the res, and it was just, too little, too late. Took them down, and
Yep.
then Liberty just wasn't in a great spot to compete
No.
against them, and Prap comes out with 8 kills, so
Yeah, definitely got, 4 there in that last circle and you couldn't tell on the kill count, but Ogi definitely provided a lot of support and cover fire to allow Prap to get into the position he was. So just good team play between the two of them there at the end.
So that'll conclude tonight's games. Thank you everyone for tuning in tonight. I want to give a special shout out to our sponsors, DreamHack and GLL. The season is coming to a close very quickly. There's only one more week left. The winners of the regular season will get 4 BYOC tickets to DreamHack Atlanta. Second and third place will also get 4 general admission tickets to attend all the festivals and events that go on in Atlanta. And GLL, special shout out to them for providing the prizing for this season. That'll go to the top 5 teams in the finals. That's a $5,000 prize pool. So definitely appreciate them and all the support that they have given us this season. Be sure to give us a follow on Twitter and join our Discord slash Collegiate PUBG. You can tune in and watch all the action, compete, talk with the players, join if you're a university student, and just have a good time. So with that, this has been the Fight Dude casting alongside Sino, and we're signing off.
See ya.